Sauti ya kilimo, mifugo na uvuvi.
So my next speaker is Miss Elizabeth Swai. And Elizabeth, my question to you is, what is the role of education in ensuring consumers make informed choices about their diets? And what are some of the ways to address social cultural considerations that affect choice? And I think your presentation will follow very closely to what Dr. Kyungu was talking about. Go ahead, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Elizabeth, the Managing Director of Akiongelea Company Limited. We are into integrated poultry business. We work with a youth and women in Tanzania on poultry production. We are also developing incubation centers for youth. So we live with youth in the incubation center for 6 months. Before I continue on what I'm doing, I think we have to think differently when we are doing business. Our business models should be very inclusive and should also consider other social needs and healthy needs while we are implementing the business, the activities of the business. The reason why I'm saying this is because we don't have to probably add more costs on use of personnel in terms of delivery. For example, in our company, we are using extension officers to do nutritional messaging, poultry development groups, the last groups of smallholder farmers who are working with our incubation center, as well as who are working with our brooders, the women brooders. What we do literally, we started doing this job with in partnership with Tenega, whereas we trained our extension officers to train the women on the importance of nutrition. So while they are doing the extension work, at the same time they were delivering the messages, the diet messages. The other thing is when we are also working, we sometimes collect data, we do some studies, and we had done a study with the IDH, and we did data collection on business side. What is the preference of the smallholder farmers we are working with? What are their eating habits? What is the engagement of women vis-a-vis men into the program? So we use same resources to do multiple activities for different reasons. Coming back to the business model in terms of investment, I think we should also think differently on investment in terms of nutrition. For example, I like playing games, and I usually see the World Food Program adverts on Somalia, them not having food at this particular time, and Sudan eating the roots of that flower. So I'm thinking that us having poultry, we have a lot of labor out there. We have a lot of smallholder farmers we are working with. We can produce eggs, for example, a lot of eggs. Buy from farmers. The World Food Program or any other organization, maybe UNICEF, invest into boiling plants. Pack the eggs. Easy to deliver in Sudan, easy to deliver in Somalia. We solve food security, we solve nutrition issues. So there are some of the ideas that I'm getting from the challenges that the world is facing. I just mentioned that because you spoke about it, and I'm an ex-World Food Program, so I know exactly what they do. Yeah, but coming back to the model, the youth model, we are living with the model there. So sometimes we have girls having headaches. Sometimes we have cases where they have dizziness, and we realize that these girls do not have proper iron, for example. So we use the policy of a 10% inclusion policy, which is done also in Nigeria, and we do a combination of food. For example, we advise the youth to use yellow sweet potatoes mixed with egg to make bread. So that is nutritious. Or we are advising them to combine, maybe to use eggs as a sauce and use white ugali, so they have proper protein diets. But because they are doing it at the incubation center, it's easy for them to pass on the messages to their households. But also they are working with the smallholder farmers at the other level, where we have a number of 300 smallholder farmers in poultry development groups. So when the youth visit the poultry development groups, they pass on those messages. We have some challenges sometimes on cultural issues, for example. When we go to Maasai's don't eat. They don't eat chickens. They don't care to keep chickens. But what we do is we engage the elders of the society and explain to them they don't have to eat chickens, but they have to produce chickens, sell the chickens, get the profit by meat. So you can translate the chickens into something else. We also had a challenge once with the small the farmers who do not consume eggs. So we were doing a study, and we arrived in this house and we found more than 100 eggs lying there rotting. So we told them, you don't have to throw eggs. You have just to collect them on a right time and sell the eggs and exchange with another type of food. So you can use the resources to transform them into other use. But again, at the incubation center, what we are training them to do is to raise chicks. But then they are selling the chicks to smallholder farmers at the poultry development group, where they do make eggs. So we train these youth at the incubation center, and every one incubation center has a group of 50 members. They graduate every 6 months. That means we are taking more, and we are disseminating that information while we are doing business for them. And the poultry development groups are keeping eggs to lay, and they get this training to understand exactly what is the value of an egg, or what is the value of a chicken. And if they're not consuming chicken, they can sell chicken and buy meat, or buy beans, or include probably in their meals, they can include beans and probably bananas. So it's how you speak to those people, how you try to change their mindset, how you try to include them in decision making on their diet. So once they understand, it's very easy to transform the community. Thank you.
Sauti ya Kilimo, Mifugo na Uvuvi.